Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. My name is Monique and this is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support here on the channel. And for those of you that are new, welcome. You may also want to check out my main tarot channel, Moon Moth Goddess, where I do have a bunch of other pick a card readings posted in playlists for you guys. So those of you that would like to book a private reading, you can find my email down below in the description box, where you can send me an email and I will provide you on more information on booking readings as well as other services with me. I also want you guys to keep in mind that I will never reach out to you first to offer you a reading via the YouTube comments or on any type of social media platform. If there is someone contacting you and you did not initiate the contact, just know that it's not me. It is a scammer impersonator. So you can block report that account depending on what platform you are using. Okay, so I will never reach out to you first. If you do, however, leave me a comment in the YouTube comments and ask me, hey, how do I book a private reading with you? I will respond to that. But if somebody's reaching out to you first, it is not me. Okay, so today's pick a card reading, we are doing what is supporting your growth at this time. Okay, so you could think about that in different ways. Your growth on a spiritual level, maybe a path on emotional wellness, or maybe it is on your career path. So we're just going to see whatever it is that does come through for you guys today. What is supporting your growth at this time on a soul level? Like I said, we'll just kind of see what energies do come through for you. If you do feel drawn to more than one pile, that is perfectly okay for today's reading. But we are going to do three separate piles today. I am going to be adding in one of these cards here to help you with choosing your pile. We are also going to be shuffling and putting the piles together. So for those of you that do like to watch that process, there will be a timestamp down below. Those of you that want to see what your pile looks like already prepared and want to skip past the whole shuffling process, I will have a timestamp for that there as well. So let's get into it. So what is supporting your growth at this time? We're going to choose a card for each of the piles today. Pile 1, we have this polychrome or desert jasper. So let's choose a card for pile 1. What is supporting your growth at this time? Okay, so for pile 1, we have the badger and ginkgo, and it says healing wounds. Pile 2 is going to be the smoky quartz. What is supporting your growth at this time, pile 2, with the smoky quartz? We have the salamander and black pepper with inspiration. And then pile number 3, we have a little flower agate. So pile 3, what is supporting your growth at this time? Okay, and then we have the boar and pumpkin with confidence. So let's take a closer look at your card as well as your crystal. So pile 1, we have the desert jasper, which is like a mix of tan and like a blue-gray. And that is with this badger, ginkgo, healing wounds, card number 32. So pile 2, we have the salamander and black pepper with inspiration and this smoky quartz. For pile 2, and then pile number 3 is going to be the flower agate and the Boar and Pumpkin with confidence for pile number 3. So pause the video if you need a little bit more time to meditate on the crystals or the artwork on the cards. What is supporting your growth at this time? Pile 1 with the Badger and Ginkgo and the Desert Jasper. Pile 2 with the Salamander and Black Pepper with the Smoky Quartz. And then pile 3, the Boar and Pumpkin with the Flower Agate. Timestamps will be down below, and I will see you guys at your reading. Okay, so let's put these piles together. We're going to be shuffling through the Oracle and Tarot decks. So let's see, what is supporting your growth at this time? Let's start with pulling from this deck here. And I will have all of the Tarot Oracle decks listed down below for you guys. So what is supporting your growth at this time? Let's do that one for pile 1. What is supporting your growth at this time? Okay, and let's pull one of these. What is supporting your growth at this time? And let's do pile 3. Okay. What is supporting your growth at this time? For pile 2 and pile 3. Okay, and I have about 3 or 2 more after this one. 2 more Oracle decks, and then we'll pull the tarot. What is supporting your growth at this time? Let's do pile 3. What is supporting your growth at this time? What is supporting pile number 1's growth at this time? Let's take that one right there. For pile 2, Spirit, what is supporting pile 2's growth? And pile 3. And we're going to do this one here. This is our last Oracle deck, and then we'll shuffle the tarot. What is supporting your growth at this time? And for pile 3. Okay, now let's get into the tarot. We're going to pull 4 of the tarot cards. What is supporting pile number 1's growth at this time. There's 2, 3, and 4 for pile 1. And let's see, pile 2. What is supporting your growth at this time? That's 3, 4 for pile 2, and then pile 3. What is supporting your growth at this time? And then one more. Okay, so now all of our decks are shuffled here. And I think let's actually put this one on top. And that will be for pile 1. And for pile 2. And for pile number 3. Okay, so all of our piles are shuffled and put together. Pile number 1, this is going to be yours here. Pile number 2, pile number 3. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time to meditate on which pile is calling to you the most, whether it be the artwork or the crystal. If you do feel drawn to more than one, that is perfectly okay. You may have messages spread across the piles. Timestamps are down below, and I will see you guys at your reading. Hi, pile 1. So those of you that resonated with the Desert, Jasper, and the Badger and Ginkgo pile, this is going to be your reading. So we're going to put out all of your cards. This one here, I am going to have to cover up the artwork just a little bit. I have not done it yet, but we'll just save that to the side here. So we have Ginseng with the Magician. We have your Badger here with Healing Wounds. We have Immersion and Intuition, and it says when you reach the end of what you should know, you'll be at the beginning of what you should sense. We have the Sickle. Let's see if I can move this down. We have the Emperor. I just want to make sure everything fits in here. We have Risk. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Koala with Family and Stability. We also have the Seven of Pentacles. And we also have the World. So let me get this other card here. I'm just going to cover it up a little bit. So we have Medusa with Sacred Rage. There is a quote under here. I'm going to read it. It says, each time a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for all women. That's a quote by Maya Angelou. So I'm going to put this here. But I feel like looking at this card, I actually feel like this is a pretty profound message that kind of really sets the tone for the energy that is here that is supporting your growth. Because The story behind this card is a pretty sad one, having to do with Medusa. For any of you that really work and study into mythology, gods and goddesses, Medusa was, obviously we remember her as the one that has all of the snakes and would turn men to stone or people to stone. And Medusa was very hurt by Poseidon. And Medusa was, before she was hurt by Poseidon, she was a follower of Athena. And she vowed celibacy to Athena. And then Poseidon ended up hurting Medusa, as you can see the kind of the tears that are rolling down her eyes here. And Athena then kind of in a way cursed Medusa by putting snakes, replacing her hair with snakes on her head. And so Medusa carried a lot of anger, in a way feeling betrayed, I feel like, by both Athena and Poseidon. But I feel like the strong message that comes through here of something that is supporting your growth is that it really gives me this feeling of you, pile number one, being someone who may have been hurt by, it could be just one person or it can be many people. And this is about you really having a fighting spirit, about having gone through, maybe for some of you, a lot of trauma, a lot of very challenging energies that you've been able to overcome within your life. And I'm noticing that although Medusa is feminine, we also have the Emperor here. And I feel like how this is important is because Medusa, in a way, as turning people into stone, when looking at her, was kind of her way of retaliating, in a sense, for the anger and the pain that she felt within inside of herself. And so for many of you, this is about you truly not giving up on yourself, finding your voice, finding this inner strength and this power within you that is, I feel like, ever expanding and growing and evolving here. And the Emperor energy, and then you have the koala with family and stability. And so when we think about the archetype of the Emperor represents stability, structure, a firm foundation. It can be seen as the archetype of the divine masculine, father, husband, type of energy. And so we know that archetype as one that is a protector. And with the family and stability here, I'm feeling that with this powerful energy of Medusa and the masculine energy here as protector of family, stability, security, that you are one that your inner strength to help you to move through difficult and challenging things because of what you may have already gone through. I feel like it really is something that helps to set the tone for the way in which you approach your life as a whole. And I feel like it's not without, for many of you, pain, suffering, challenge, adversity, trauma, different things of that nature, that you now are this person who has really focused on not only your healing your own inner wounds, but about being someone who maybe even in your family line is really focused on fighting to become a better version of yourself. And not that you're fighting that it, because it could be a little bit of a challenge, a struggle to get there, to get to that place where you feel more empowered and strong, because many of you may have a lot of pain that you're healing here, and may feel a lot of anger or resentment, or having people who have hurt you in ways, whether it be from emotional manipulation or any types of, people hurting you in many different ways. That you have this energy within you that is supportive, I feel like, of others, and finding that inner strength within inside of yourself to be able to fully immerse yourself into, I feel like, self-evaluation, because you do have the Seven of Pentacles energy here too. And the Seven of Pentacles is about taking time to really evaluate and reassess what you're putting your energy into. And so I feel like I'm almost kind of getting this energy from this pile that when your approach to facing things now is more or less that your past is something that is empowering you towards your future. And I feel like that you take on this mindset and this mentality of now looking at the bigger picture of things and really working towards what matters, what's important. For many of you, it is putting yourself first. And that may have come from a long time of, putting others before you, or not speaking up for yourself, not standing up for yourself. And, just like this quote from Maya Angelou says, about you, I feel like for many of you, finding your inner voice, finding ways of better expressing yourself and getting your point across. But it really is, I'm feeling from the entire energy as a whole of what is supporting your growth at this time, it is your strength. A lot of that is your inner strength, your discipline, your, accountability, of seeing that. I feel like taking a good look at everything and everyone, everyone that you surround yourself with, the environments that you keep yourself in, that because of what you have gone through in your past, that I feel like you're far more observant and mindful, and I feel like have also learned a lot of lessons in compassion, because I feel like for many of you, you may not have had that compassion of people towards you for a time. So it's kind of like you're really growing, I feel like, on your own for some of you, like going through and feeling at times, it's like Spirit's showing me like this little turtle that's trying to swim through some really rough water. And you being someone that, even though you've gone through all of those challenging things, that you've had to really fight for moving past these things, I feel a lot of you on your own, and really not giving up on yourself, and, really working towards becoming that better version of self, working towards finding more balance within yourself, finding your power. I'm looking at how these two little birds here in the Two of Pentacles card. There's little keys. There's one little bird here that's looking at this one here that's holding the keys. And I'm kind of seeing these birds that look like they're kind of nestled in this little area here where they're safe. But it's yet this little bird here with the keys, I feel like is symbolic of you having dreams about opening things up for yourself for the future in a way that this could have remained your story, right? If you've ever, like I said, and we've all gone through some very challenging things in our life. We all have a story, to tell. But I feel like this says a lot about you releasing a lot from within inside of yourself, growing, evolving. I'm even noticing in this world card here, and the world is about completion of cycles. And looking at her here, she's kind of in the center of this little archway here. So I'm seeing this as your completion here. But right on her finger, she's got this little bird, which to me is kind of like in a way symbolic because this is the last card of the major arcana. And beginning again would be the Fool, which is card 0. So I'm seeing this here as this little bird that she is releasing here, kind of like this symbol of freedom, of what you feel from the cycles that you've gone through. And kind of releasing the little bird as symbolic of you releasing certain things from your past as you're working towards healing wounds. And having the sickle here, the sickle is something which is kind of very closely related to the Seven of Pentacles here, because this is about reaping the harvest and the harvest time coming soon, about what you've been working towards. I'm also noticing she has a really large key in her arms that she's carrying here. There's also a key here in this card here. But, the sickle can be used to really harvest, right? Harvesting. But I'm also seeing that symbolic of you cutting and removing things out of your life. So maybe for some of you, you are fully immersing yourself into the experiences, right? And feeling the full range of emotions and learning how to, I feel like for many of you, express yourself, even if it is anger, even if it is frustration. You're learning to kind of give a voice to those feelings, those emotions, and learning how to not be afraid of expressing yourself. And, I feel like having a better attuned intuition to what's working in your life, what's not working in your life, what can be removed, what risks are worth taking. Because I feel like you've seen so much in your life through the experiences that you've gone through. I feel like that there's a lot of things now that don't scare you anymore, don't make you feel afraid. It's kind of like you're really just, I feel like such a strong spirit, pile one, that knowing, like even looking at this little crow here, how he's trying to open these little shells that are here, but yet there's all of these waves that are crashing against the rocks here. But it's kind of like I'm seeing this symbolic of you having gone through what you've gone through in your past, and just kind of having this energy within you that has already been there, done that, has already seen, almost like hitting rock bottom. And I feel for many of you that may have been where you've been, where you feel like there's been a lot of things that you've worked towards in your life that may have not gone the right way. A lot of choices that you've made connecting with certain people. And although those lessons may have been something that were very painful, I feel like for many of you, that you've also learned a lot from them and have grown a lot from them. So it's kind of like now it gives me this feeling that you are someone who, it's almost like you're asking, like, universe, like, what else you got? What else do you have to throw my way? You know, what else do you have that you can throw at me that, you know, people might say that I won't be able to do, or that I won't be able to accomplish, or that I won't be able to make it past, or, you know, give me something else that's going to knock me down and watch me get back up. It's kind of like this feeling that I have from this pile. It's very empowering. Very empowering. It's kind of like I feel like, have learned to become your own, in a sense, your own emperor, regardless of gender. Like I said, this is masculine energy, but it's kind of like you've really learned how to be more assertive, how to stand up for yourself. And for many of you that don't quite feel that way, you know, this energy of the sacred rage is about you, in my opinion, kind of giving voice to your feelings. And you're kind of, in a way, transmuting this energy, whatever that negative energy is for you, and turning it into your power here. You know, which it's kind of like you're seeing here how you hold the key to your growth, to your success, you know, by also learning how to trust your intuition, right? Because with Medusa, you know, she, like I said, she was hurt by Poseidon, and, you know, kind of had all of that rage that was just built up inside of her. And even Athena, right? Not listening, not maybe believing her, you know, when she was telling Athena what had happened with what Poseidon did to her. And just feeling, it's almost like that all of that anger is something that was transmuted into something so powerful. And I feel like for many of you, you're finding that within inside of yourself. And through that process, you're finding your light. It's kind of like this, you're finding your power here. We have the Magician. You know, the Magician is about willpower, at least within the tarot, but I'm seeing that in here. And then also we have number 40 here, which reduces to a 4, which is the Emperor. And again, we have a 5 and a 4, which the 5 to me is the Hierophant, you know, talking about values, beliefs, morals, convention, tradition, being challenged, and having to really kind of see what works for you, what makes you stronger. And I'm feeling like you're really finding that within inside of yourself, you know, really taking a big picture look at your life and recognizing who's in alignment with you and who's not. You know, it's kind of like, I don't even, I mean, I'm trying to find the words to be able to describe, you know, this energy here. And it's just so incredibly powerful, resilient. And I feel like the more that you focus on honoring your feelings, your emotions, your sacred rage, your anger, your frustration, you know, I feel like a lot of times anger is something that is perceived as a very negative emotion, right? That we shouldn't get angry and we shouldn't, you know, do this, or we shouldn't feel that way. But it's part of our experience. It's part of us, you know, feeling that and going through our full range of emotions and being able to understand them, you know, because for the most part, that anger and that rage behind it, can often be pain or feeling scared, feeling afraid. And I feel like for many of you, it is really kind of working through your feelings, working through your emotions, understanding them so that you can help to understand yourself is something that's really supporting you, is that you take the time to allow yourself to feel your feelings, to express your feelings, to, even the ones that are dark and shadowy, they're very much a part of you. And so I see this as you, for many of you, making yourself a priority, which really helps with your growth. That you are one that is learning how to be far more disciplined, create more balance in your life. The Emperor is also about strategy and planning and, focus, discipline, organization. And I just feel like you also are someone who's very protective, maybe more of yourself now, setting boundaries, maybe something for some of you. Learning how to set boundaries with other women may be very important for you, especially for those of you that have been hurt, by other people and not having that opportunity to speak up for yourself. So I'm feeling that, yeah, a lot of what is supporting you is your outlook on life, seeing the bigger picture of things, maybe even having a deeper understanding for certain things that you may have gone through. And we can either choose to look at them at a place of kind of like the victim mentality, or choose to look at the situations as something that has taught us, I feel like, a lot about ourselves, where you, how do I want to say, like, just I feel like you're looking to your inner power, your inner strength. Because even in this card here with the World, the way that she kind of looks like she's looking off to the side here, to me, I see her, especially with this energy that's here, that she is recalling all of these memories, all of these events through what she's gone through, and is now ready to release all of these things from your past. And then with the World card is also a beautiful energy, because the World is about, not only about closing cycles, but it's a place of enlightenment. It's a place of achievement, celebration. It's a very celebratory energy, because it's kind of like you've come full circle. You can reflect back on all of the things that you've gone through, the highs and the lows. But I feel like you're better able to look within inside of yourself about what, and being honest with yourself about what needs to be let go of, who needs to be let go of. And I'm kind of feeling like this zero tolerance, for certain people in your life anymore, or certain things. It's kind of like through everything that you've gone through, it's really just taught you. It's kind of like very eye-opening. I feel like many of you have an amazing story to share, an amazing story to tell about the experiences that you've had. And I feel like it is definitely one that needs to be heard, because I feel like it's this strength that may even be an inspiration to others. I am definitely feeling like your energy is one that inspires others to, you could talk about your story openly to other people, and people would be like, wow, like you've gone through that, and it's kind of like, I don't even know what to say. Pile one. I'm just like, wow, this is, yeah. I just feel like it's a very beautiful energy that you, I feel like, are learning how to be more patient with yourself, with your healing, with understanding your feelings, your emotions. I feel like it's something that's also helping you to really sharpen your intuition and to learn to trust your gut feelings about people, about situations, and fully reclaiming your power. You know, you recognizing within yourself that you are that powerful force and that you do have the power to co-create your reality. Resilient, I feel like is a really good word for you, you know. And for many of you, it could still be that you are still in this stage here with the sacred rage, and that may be a need for, you know, really working on your healing, you know, healing these wounds here, you know, and really kind of, for many of you, it can even be changing perspective, you know, about the lessons that you've learned from the experiences that you've gone through. But it's like the experiences hold so much power for you through you growing and healing from them, right? Because in those experiences that you have in your past, you can feel very wounded and, you know, very hurt, just like Medusa was. And letting that be something that completely defeats you, completely derails your life, or, you know, completely knocks you down. Like I said, for some of you, hitting rock bottom. But it's your strength in rising even after you've fallen. It's your strength in getting back up and not giving up, which is it's absolutely beautiful. You know, it's like you've already gone through worst case scenario, and now it's like if there's something that you set your mind to and you want within your life, that you don't give up, you know. There's a lot of perseverance in this energy about really kind of being open to change, being open to take risks, the leap of faith. And I feel like as long as you do that, you listen to your heart, your feelings, your emotions, and honoring, like I said, the full range of them, the full spectrum of those feelings and emotions, that you are continuing to to fully step into your power here, which is truly beautiful. Okay. So yeah, that it's amazing, amazing energy, pile one. It's definitely something that is very inspiring, you know. So yeah, definitely very strong energy with the emperor. It's that's a I feel like that the emperor is very supportive. The emperor energy is, you know, like I said, the traditional archetype of a father, husband, masculine, very protector, you know. So it really is a beautiful energy. um I feel like that you're leading with at this time. It's really helping you to achieve what you want to, your dreams, and, you know, make them reality. Okay, so that is all that I have for you, pile number one. I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile two. So those of you that resonated with the Smokey Quartz crystal, this is going to be your reading today. So we're going to put out all of your cards and take a look at the energy all together. So we do have the Angel's Trumpet with Death. We have your Salamander and Black Pepper with Inspiration. We have the Fool. And let's see. We have Henbane here. Henbane. We have Tuberose, and it says Dangerous Pleasure. The secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. Okay, so that to me kind of goes in line with the Fool, taking a risk. So we'll see what else we have. Curiosity. Look at that. The curious bird here. We have Rise of the Inner Warrior with Solidarity. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Crane with Dance and Meditation. Let's see. Let's put one down here. We have the Four of Cups. I think I'm going to put this in here. We have Temperance. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this all fits in here. Okay, so you've got the Four of Cups. Four of Cups energy. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where I want to start with this message here. So our question today is, what is supporting your growth at this time? Okay, well, we do have Rise of the Inner Warrior. So even the way this little crane here, the way that it's lifting its wings, I feel like is something truly beautiful here. And I'm kind of looking at this angel's trumpet with death here. To me, it's a very transformative energy here, because you also have Temperance, and Temperance is about the transmutation of energies. And with your Four of Cups energy here, the Four of Cups can sometimes be a little bit of a challenging energy as far as our feelings, our emotions, because it puts us in a place where sometimes we can look at the world through the lens of, feeling very discontent, very unhappy, and sometimes not knowing how to change, certain beliefs that we have, or self-sabotaging type of behavior, or even changing into our perspective into something that is more optimistic, because the Four of Cups can put us in a place where we're feeling unfulfilled, we feel bored, we feel unhappy, and sometimes we don't even see it, because the Four of Cups can also talk about missed opportunities. And so, at times the universe will work by giving us, signs, symbols, synchronicities for us to follow. And sometimes we might misinterpret them. We may not fully understand what message it is that Spirit has for us, that's trying to help us, to lead us, to guide us. And, that can make you feel, I feel like, afraid to go after certain things. Because I noticed you also have the Two of Wands here. And the Two of Wands is about choices. It is about choosing a path, choosing a direction. And you have Rise of the Inner Warrior here, which is a very powerful energy. I want to see if I can see what this card says. Back here it says, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. And it says, I shock you and rock you. I clear the way for what's to come. I can be slight or stupendous, brief or long lasting, uproaring and uprising. What I can't be is ignored. So it's a very powerful energy. I'm also seeing the way that they're kind of standing back to back here, holding hands, and also very protective, of the energy that's around them. So maybe for many of you, this is kind of speaks very clearly about what you, feel within inside of yourself, as far as that energy that's, I feel like, from lower vibrational energy, something that's being transmuted within you to your power. Because these energies here, we have the dangerous pleasure. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of the Fool energy here. And the Fool is about taking the leap of faith, taking the risk in life, and being led, I feel like, in a way, by inspiration. And then you have this curious little crow here, that all the other crows are sitting here outside, right? Looking at this crow like, what are they doing? Like, why are they going in there? You know, but maybe, these crows here, I'm kind of looking at it in a way that this is routine, and we can always choose to do what everyone else is doing. But it's kind of like there's something within you, I feel like, within your soul, that is changing within you. It almost makes me feel like, for many of you, and this may even be something that you're starting to feel now or will soon, is that there's something changing within you. Almost like the voice of your soul that no longer wants to be silenced, that wants to be let out into the world, and to be able to fully express itself in what its needs are, what its desires are, what its, talents, skills. It's kind of like it's wanting you, in a sense, to become the best possible version of yourself. Yes, you can always do the ordinary, right? But it's kind of like your soul, in a way, is kind of wanting to show you just how extraordinary it really is, and maybe for some of you it is through meditative practice or through any other form of expression. We do have dance here with the crane, but for many of you, and it looks like them, like they look like they're fighting for something, right? Like they're fighting for rights, and standing together in unity. In maybe for some of you, it's surrounding yourself with people that are supportive to your path and to your journey here, right? Where you can continue with the Four of Cups energy here to kind of stay that little bird on the wire here that says, this is my life. This is all that I'm here to do. This is all that I'm meant to do. I can't change it. Until you transmute this energy into something powerful. You can stay here with the Two of Wands, which I kind of see this as kind of like a crossroads. We're at, a path, a crossroads on our path, where we have a direction. We can either stay on and be that bird on the wire, or we can choose to break the norm. We can choose to be different. We can choose to follow what passions we have from within ourselves, and to take that leap of faith. So to me, the energy that is supporting your growth at this time is, yes, we have the Fool and we have Temperance as your major arcana, which are powerful energies. The Fool is definitely a spiritual energy that is all about embarking on a new path, a new journey, taking risks in life, taking the leap of faith, believing in yourself. And with Temperance is also about balance. It's about healing. It's about, divine alchemy, co-creation with the universe. And so I feel like these energies are ones that you are truly, I feel like many of you could potentially be going through awakenings, where your spirit kind of, in a sense, is like, I will be silenced no more. It is time for me to shine. It is time for me to show people who I truly am, and to be able to fully express myself and be who I want to be within this lifetime, and not feel like I have to be you know, ordinary, or, you know, what everything or everyone expects me to be and do. Like, you know, daring to be different and to stand up for yourself and what it is that you, I feel like, really want within your life. Now, I'm going to look this up because I have no idea what henbane is. So I'm going to look. And this is from the Seed and Sickle Oracle. And maybe this will give us some more clues here, but 51. Okay, so it says, in ancient Greece, the dead were crowned with chaplets of henbane, helping them forget their previous lives so that they might move forward to the underworld without regrets. The underworld may not be your destination, but something is still holding you back right now. Find it, forgive it, and move forward with more freedom. You know, so this also talks a lot about, I feel like, releasing, right? Releasing the past, releasing who you were. And it doesn't necessarily have to be past life stuff. It can be who you are in this incarnation, you know, the you that stays in this Four of Cups, feeling uninspired, feeling bored, feeling indifferent, feeling discontent, and feeling that there isn't anything that you can do to change that. You know, it's kind of like this. I'm kind of seeing this little crane here as like your soul dancing with inside of you that's like, let me out of here. Let me be me. Let me do something that is unique. So yeah, I'm seeing this as, you know, this beautiful energy of transmutation that is happening here within you, where you're, you know, healing the energies that need healing and healing the parts of yourself that have been hidden, in a way. So many of you, I feel like this is also you working towards goals, right? Not giving up on your goals, I feel like, is another thing here. I feel like there's a lot of powerful energy here that's also helping you to move forward through that growth. And a lot of that is happening within you, where you are starting to feel more inspired to want to change away from the way that things have always been. That there's a lot of you feeling, maybe for many of you, a need for shift, a need for change, a need for growth. And maybe that comes through the acknowledgement of certain energies that you know, are releasing and working through. Especially with your little angel's trumpet here. Lots of growth. I'm feeling more or less this energy of harmony, of balance. Because I'm noticing that you also have the number 11 here, which is the Justice card. And the Justice card is about karmic balance. And maybe this is about being able to close out certain karmic cycles that you have gone through in your past. I'm also noticing that you have number 51 here, which is the Hierophant and the Magician. And so I feel like there's a lot of lessons that you're learning throughout your life, and ones that I feel like are really teaching you to find your power from within inside of yourself. This also reduces to a 6, which is the Lovers card. And the Lovers is also a card of harmony, of balance between both the feminine and the masculine. And then you have number 46 here, which is the Emperor and also the Lover's energy. You know, structure, foundation. There's a powerful masculine energy here as well, which may also be helping you with your growth, being more disciplined, being more focused, learning how to be more assertive, authoritative, standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself. And both of these also reduce to a 10 or a 1, right? Completing cycles, new beginnings, okay? Or at least feeling that energy here of being drawn into changing. I feel like leaving the old you behind, rewriting a new story, you know? So I feel like this is very telling of your energy here. Rise of the inner warrior with solidarity. So yeah, I feel like for many of you that feel that you are inspired and there are things that you want to do, you want to accomplish, you want to, you know, the dreams that you have, the goals that you have, that this is now a time for you to, maybe for some of you, step outside of your comfort zone, you know, and work on, if you're someone who has fears, you know, feeling afraid or anxious, and that anxiety is something that rules you, that you work on finding out where that anxiety might come from, something that is limiting, and that could be going into certain belief systems that you might have, or certain self-sabotaging thoughts or behaviors that you might have, right? And really kind of going through all of these things and saying to yourself, you know, do these ideas, do these thoughts, do they serve me? Are they hindering me? Are they, you know, holding me back? Or are they ones that are serving my highest good for me to really grow and evolve? So having the energy of the Fool as something that is supporting your growth is amazing, right? Of just feeling curious, of wanting to, like I said, imagining that you know, are this little bird that's sitting here, but there's something within you, within your soul here, that's saying, I want to go someplace else. I want to see what else is out there, right? Because I imagine like all these little birds here, they can be too, right? In that Four of Cups energy here, where they might get bored of looking at the same city, you know, every day, where this little bird here has kind of, you know, had enough courage to say, okay, this place looks nice. Let me see what is in here. What does this door have to offer me? You know, how can I change my life? And I feel like a lot of that is about you healing maybe even certain wounds that you might have within inside of yourself that do keep you, you know, from fully stepping into the best possible version of yourself, you know. For many of you, I feel like it may also involve changing or shifting perspective, and also trusting in the way that spirit is leading you and guiding you on your path. I'm feeling for many of you, it is having, like I said, I'm kind of feeling awakenings, because we do have the crown here. And so I feel like for many of you, it's kind of having epiphanies, realizations, you know, like, wait a minute, hold on. You mean I don't have to sit on this wire every day? I can do something different, you know, and all it requires is for me to have trust, have faith, you know. And I feel like I said, for many of you, it could even be that you have a lot of fears or insecurities or worrying or stressing and things like that. That is perfectly normal when we are about to do something great, when we're about to do something amazing, when it's something, you know, that we're really wanting to do. Yes, we can feel scared, we can feel afraid, but it's like the Fool is like, you know, such a beautiful energy of rebirth and renewal, and, you know, deciding within inside of yourself that you're no longer going to be that old version of self that was holding you back, you know, that you work through acknowledging these old ways of thinking, old ways of doing, old patterns of behavior that were your old story, you know, that kept you as that little bird sitting out there, you know, dreams, envisioning yourself in a different place, or, you know, a different place to live, or a different job, or in a different relationship, different friendships, and kind of wanting all of that. But then you being that bird that decides to break away and actually go after it. To say to yourself, wow, there's so much more out there that I wish to experience, and I'm going to feel brave enough to be able to go along my path to make the choices that I need to, that are going to help me to get to that place, And with temperance being the energy of alchemy, right? Transmutation of energies. You could be turning this Four of Cups into something powerful for yourself, right? So it literally is. And then this is the number 17 here, which is the star. The star is about trust and faith and hope and belief and renewal and healing. And, for many of you, you may even have dreams of being a star, like literally, like being well known for something and working towards a particular dream that you might have that is going to make you famous. By you being that one that is deciding, you know what, I'm not going to let these things hold me back anymore. Whether it's your own thoughts that hold you back or it's certain situations that you might be in that you are kind of finding within you the strength to be able to make the changes that you need to work towards the goals that you have set in your mind. And this little inspiration card here, it kind of reminds me of the Page of Wands very much, or more Page of Wands than Ace of Wands. But, the Page of Wands is about excitement and discovery and travel and, meeting new people, connecting with new people, and the people that you connect with along your path that are ones that may even provide more inspiration for you to look into things that you may have never seen yourself doing, by allowing yourself to be open to the journey of life and, trusting that it's going to take you into experiences that bring you happiness and fulfillment within your life. And that being something, to dance about, like that crane. So maybe for some of you, in order to achieve or get to that place, maybe it is meditation, maybe it is stillness, maybe it is listening to the voice of your soul and, to acknowledge what it is that your soul is saying to you about where it wants to journey to, and about you allowing yourself that freedom, as the Fool does, to be able to take that leap of faith when your soul is kind of urging you into that direction. Okay, so beautiful energy, pile number 2. I do hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. So those of you that resonated with the flower agate, this is going to be a reading today. So we're finding out what is supporting your growth at this time. So we have your boron pumpkin with confidence. We have chamomile number 9 with inner peace. Let's see. Let's pull one here, tarot up there. We have the hanged man. We have the mushroom. We have the red rose, and it says hidden secrets. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth, by Buddha. Let's see. Actually, this one I'm going to have to cover up just a little bit, so we'll hold on to that one for just a second. We have insight here. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the fox with adaptability, reactivity. We have the 4 of Swords, and I think I'm going to move this down. And then we have the 10 of Swords. So let me just cover this one up just a little bit. Okay. If I have something smaller. Okay, so this is going to have to do. But we have Lilith, the first feminist with autonomy. Okay. And she is holding a snake here. All right. So what is supporting your growth at this time? Okay. So the major arcana that you do have here is the Hanged Man. Okay, so the Hangman is when we are able to gain a shift or a change in perspective. I'm going to try to, that glare on the card, I don't know where it's coming from, but okay, it's from this lamp. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you have the Hangman energy here, and the Hangman is about a change or a shift in perspective. Okay, so I'm seeing that you do have the Eight of Cups energy here also. The Eight of Cups is about us letting go or walking away from people, situations that are no longer serving us. Okay, so maybe for many of you, if you have been doing the work and have been taking time for yourself, you know, healing, introspection, reflection. I'm also seeing you have the Four of Swords here too. And the Four of Swords, you can see that she's kind of resting on the swords, which is what the Four of Swords is about. It's about rest, stillness, meditation, finding that sense of peace and calm within the mind so that we can think clearly, right? So maybe for many of you, the energy that's supporting your growth at this time is mindfulness, is, you know, taking some time to really take a step back from people, from situations, and maybe that is something that's really helping you to gain some perspective here, gaining insight, which is also what the Hangman is about, insight and enlightenment that we gain. I'm noticing that this Hangman is also wearing a mask here. And being that you do have Lilith, the first feminist with autonomy, I feel like for many of you, by you taking this time to really discover yourself and who you are, that you're learning in a way to kind of remove your own mask. And maybe that mask is symbolic of a false sense of the self. Maybe it is symbolic of old belief systems or, you know, any self-limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging behaviors that you might have had. You also have inner peace up here too. So it's a lot of this energy here. Even in the Ten of Swords, she looks like she's kind of bent over here, where she's just kind of resting her head on her knees. And the Ten of Swords energy is about, you know, can be a lot of pain. You know, a lot of pain. It can also be when we are really kind of mentally just feeling very drained, feeling exhausted, feeling just at our end, like just very tired, right? Because of the things that we may have on our mind, feeling stressed out or feeling anxious, and just kind of like all of this, you know, many of you may have gone through a very challenging maybe cycle quite recently, or something that you're trying to maybe understand. And with the energy of inner peace here, you've got the peacefulness here in the Four of Swords. I also notice this is number 9, which is the energy of the Hermit. And the Hermit is about, you know, discovering the self. You know, it's really about reflecting inwards, about our inner world, and working through feelings, emotions. It's really where we find ourselves. We find out who we are, right? Which to me, we have Lilith, the first feminist here with autonomy. It's about you discovering your true identity. But the energies that are supporting you is your, maybe for some of you, it's that change or shift in perspective, you know, that's really helping you here by taking the time to reflect upon yourself. Now, if those of you that feel, you know, that you're not quite there yet, I'm seeing that you do have the mushroom here. And this mushroom card talks about us being in a place where we are burning the candle at both ends. You know, and for those of you that don't know what that saying means, it's basically we're taking on a lot of responsibilities, or, you know, have a lot on our plate to the point where we can get burnt out. You know, we can be giving a lot of our time and energy to people or certain situations that don't need our energy or may not value our energy. And so for many of you, this can be like pulling back, walking away, letting go, whether that be a relationship or a job or, a certain pattern of behavior that you might have where you are really kind of starting to recognize, okay, you know what? It is time for me to take a break. It is time for me to take a rest, because in that rest comes restorative energy, comes renewal, comes a clear mind that you're better able to figure out solutions to problems or issues or, things that you might have going on within yourself. And I feel like it's also with the autonomy here that you learn also to separate yourself from others in a way that you can become independent. And if any of you struggle with codependency or attachment or obsessive behavior, that you learn how to be yourself and stand on your own and find strength and power in your independence, right? To not really depend on others, right? To make you feel happy or to make you feel fulfilled, but more or less by you finding that sense of inner peace. Maybe for many of you, it's also having the confidence to walk away from that job or from that relationship or, and I feel like with this hidden secrets here, 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And maybe that truth for some of you is truth of something that you find within inside of yourself, your own truth. You also have the little fox here with adaptability and reactivity. And so maybe for many of you, if you have gone through, some very challenging situations in your life, and maybe you have learned to adapt, right, to those situations, but I'm also finding that you are finding growth within those, even if they are ones that are particularly challenging, that you are discovering, I feel like, new ways of looking at things, new ways of understanding, how certain things are kind of working out within your life. Okay. So I feel like it's a lot more of you giving back to yourself, of knowing when to rest, when to focus on yourself, and, give the time and energy. For some of you, I feel like a rest, a break. For others of you, it's giving that time back to yourself. That if there are certain things that you feel are not serving your highest good, that you know well enough to be able to let go of them. And I feel for many of you, as the more that you spend time in discovering who you are as a person, the more your confidence grows and belief in yourself and truly finding your power here. I feel like many of you are very intelligent, and I feel like you have a very strong connection to the divine. I feel like many of you are really healing a lot of your feminine power and feminine energy, regardless of your gender. Many of you, I feel like you're tapping into, I feel like a lot of your creative energy, a lot of the feminine, a lot of nurturing, a lot of learning to love the self, learning to honor your own feelings, your own emotions, and I'm kind of seeing in a way the sun and the moon being that symbolism of the sun energy as the masculine, the moon energy of the feminine, right? So 3 things cannot be long hidden. So it's kind of like those of you that may have had or do have, I will say, suppressed feminine or masculine energy. It's like you're coming to this place where you're stepping into acknowledging that both of those energies live within you, that you're learning how to tap into them, that you're learning how to use both those masculine and feminine energies together to be able to help to lead you along your path. And maybe it is starting to just taking each one, right? Each one of those energies within you and learning how to heal and work on, say the masculine, being more disciplined, making decisions, taking action, being more focused, being the authority of your own life. And if there's something that's not in alignment with you, that you have the power to be able to make decisions to remove it from your life, and then with the energy of the feminine, that you are working towards, nurturing yourself, self-love, self-care, learning to take time to fill your own cup when you feel drained, when you feel tired, when you feel depleted, that you can honor, what your body is telling you, what your mind is telling you, especially if you feel a lot of stress, and sometimes we can ignore that need to take a break, right? And we keep going and going and going to the point where we get to the 10 of Swords, and then we start to experience things happening within our body. And then our body starts to tell us, you need a break, right? And that can come from you having the stress or, anything else that you might going through manifest within your physical body, to where it starts to affect your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, So I feel like the Hangman energy is an energy of stillness, of being able to take a step back, and maybe for many of you, this is a little bit of a challenge at times, because you're just kind of feeling this energy of, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go, I need to adapt, to whatever this is that you're going through, or feeling challenged by at that time within your life, whether it's something that you're doing willingly or something of a situation that you were a part of and you feel like, I have no choice but to keep going. I have no choice but to, do that. But I feel like the more that you start to honor, those feelings, those emotions, and it's kind of like there's this energy that's rising within, being that we do have Lilith energy here, for many of you, it's like this feminine energy that's growing within you. That's like, I will be hidden no more. I'm ready to make my entrance into your earthly experience, and for you to channel into me and find your power and find your sense of autonomy, So I'm feeling that it is a really beautiful energy that is supporting you at this time. And maybe for many of you, the more that you, focus, and maybe for some of you, it's easy to focus on one at a time. Let's work on balancing the feminine energy and tapping into our intuition and our creativity and learning to trust what our intuition is telling us. And also the masculine energy, right? Because sometimes this kind of like the task of, healing these energies can be something that seems very daunting. And, it really takes us being very disciplined to focus our energy towards ourselves. Sometimes we have situations that we're in that are calling our energy, that can be very draining, whether it be through other people or jobs or relationships, and so many things that are taking away from us, that you are starting to recognize how I kind of want to call them like energy leaks, how these things might be affecting you, right? And to where you fully get to this place of surrender, which is also what the Hangman is about. The act of surrender, the act of letting go, right? Of all that you have been in your past, and kind of, being able to kind of perceive yourself in a very different way because of that time that you take for yourself, right? So it's like, yes, you can learn to adapt to certain situations to be able to make it through. But, what if you have enough strength and power within yourself to say, I choose to change. I choose to, remove myself from a certain way of thinking or a certain, situation which I feel is not serving my highest good. So I feel like with this clarity of the mind, this inner peace that you're feeling within inside of yourself, that many of you, especially if you're feeling stressed out, when you chose this pile and you're kind of just feeling like you're going and going and going, and you are literally feeling like you're burning the candle at both ends. I feel like the Eight of Cups energy, the Hangman, is really going to be something very powerful that helps you, to find this energy from within inside of the self. It's going to help to give you the insight, the enlightenment, the words, the wisdom, the knowledge, from your higher self, from your spirit guides, your ancestors. So you start to pay closer attention to what your body's telling you, what you're feeling, what are the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts, where are you at? You start to check in with yourself. How am I feeling today? How's my mental health today? How's my emotional health? How is my physical health? Is there anything that is within my control that I can alter or adjust, change, so that my energy is really doing its best today to serve me, to carry me through experiences that you're currently going through in life, so that you're better prepared to be able to handle, right, those bigger choices, those bigger challenges, those bigger decisions that must be made as you continue along on your path, And I feel for many of you it is, and it could be acknowledging, like, when do I need a break? When do I need a rest? How is this job making me feel? How is this relationship making me feel? How is this friendship making me feel? Is it serving me? Is it serving my highest good? Or is it something that I need to withdraw my energy from? That I need to pull back from? So that I am able to clearly see what I need to see and feel my own sense of autonomy, right? Because sometimes when we're around, certain people, certain situations, it's kind of like we take on that energy that is not even our own, right? So how can I separate myself right now? And that may even be going for a walk, spending time in nature, taking time to tune into you, focusing your energy on yourself. So you can, listen to what your soul is craving, desires to create, to explore, where you find a true sense of identity, where you are able to remove, the mask. Like I said, for some of you, it can be symbolic of your false sense of self, the self that you've created, right? The many different forms of the ego that we've created to, please others, And it's kind of like we can build so many of those different egos that we lose sense of who we truly are, right? And I feel like this is mainly about you finding your own sense of autonomy. Who am I without this job title? Who am I at my core? Who am I without this person or this friendship or this, relationship, right? Where you take that time to really delve in and discover all that you are, to find your true self and feel confident enough in yourself with who you are as a person, and not feeling like you have to put a mask on to please anyone, or to not be who you truly want to be, or you feeling like you have certain dreams, you have certain goals, but yet lacking maybe confidence in yourself. Feeling drained, feeling tired, feeling exhausted, feeling like all of your energy is scattered or directed elsewhere versus on your own growth. You know? So I'm feeling for many of you that chose this pile, maybe a good rest is in order. Maybe, you know, literally spending that time meditating or going for a walk, which is also very meditative, right? Even if you're not someone who likes to just sit down and lay down to meditate, you can do it in many other ways, right? Folding laundry, ironing, vacuuming, washing dishes, taking a shower, like just things that kind of really allow you to kind of go over your thoughts and your feelings and, you know, help to kind of organize them so that you're able to kind of see, you know, is it really that I'm feeling this way because of XYZ, or is there a deeper issue here? You know, to where you really start to understand yourself. And I feel like many of you have been putting in a lot of the work on yourself. You know, you are starting to feel much more confident about yourself. You know, you are starting to shine your light and to truly discover who you are as a person, right? By taking that time for reflection and gaining so much insight and wisdom, by being able to feel a sense of peace and calm when you are in a certain place in your life, and can then very well recognize when you are with a certain person or around a certain situation, you recognize the differences in energy and how that also affects you, you know? So it's a beautiful thing with the Hangman about being able to have this shift in perspective that is giving you such a different way of looking at yourself, viewing yourself, and viewing, you know, everything that is a part of you within your life and everything that you are a part of, and acknowledging, you know, what is something that is truly feeding your soul versus something that is depleting it and taking away from it, right? And like I said earlier, having enough confidence to recognize when this is something that you need to walk away from, and having enough willpower to do so, right? Even if that means it's a pattern of behavior that you might have that's no longer serving you, you know? So I feel like it's you, for many of you, what's supporting your growth is that you are actually taking the time, or at least kind of feeling this shift within you of wanting to understand yourself more, of wanting to truly be yourself and find and explore and discover what is truly unique about you, and what parts of yourself have you let to discover or yet to discover that you are excited about uncovering, right? And that's really what this Eight of Cups is all about, is about you setting out on that journey, right? To finding inner peace, to finding happiness within inside of yourself, okay? Which is truly beautiful. So that is all that I have for you. Pile number 3, I do hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.